Hi everyone, my name is Heather and I'm the person behind happypuppytruffles. Today I wanted to share with you guys a free downloadable that you can get from my website to print your very own Changing Faces owl. I've done a few other different animals in this series, dogs and cats and most recently a panda, and I thought this time around I'd do an owl. So we have a cute little owl like this, and just his little back view there, and I wanted to kind of make him smaller and more like round in shape. So he doesn't take up the entire cube, but this allows for a couple of fun little changes if you want to do. Those are his little happy eyes, his angry eyes, and his sleepy eyes. And we have the white, blue, pink, and purple. And there's the sad eyes. And you can see there's also the cutout that you can add, similar to like when we add ears to other animals. I thought it'd be fun to add these fun little guys here. So if you want to add that, you can. So you can have two different kinds of variations of owl. One that just has a little tuft of feathers on top of his head, and with the really funky, cool eyebrows. So I'm going to show you guys how to put everything together, and the fifth pattern is a brown owl. So that's what we'll be doing today, and I'll show you guys how it all fits together. And if you already know how to do some of these things, you can fast forward through it or something, but I'll show you guys the basics first. What you want to do is we're going to first start off by making a hinged box. And a hinged box is basically just two boxes connected together to create a point where they create a hinge so that they can close. So you print out the PDF files. There's 4 pages in total. There's 2 for the box, and on one of those pages you'll find the little fun little eyebrows if you want to use them. And you'll have 2 pages that are black that have eyes on them. There's a total of 4 eye expressions. So there's 2 pages so that you can turn those around. So first we're just going to start off by making a box with each of these pieces of paper. And it's good to just go ahead and make the box first, and then we'll worry about which parts to take apart when to get it so that we can create our finished piece. But basically you fold it in half both ways. Then we're going to take each of these 4 points into the center. And then you want to go ahead on this part, and we're going to take the side and fold it into the center. And you want to make sure you're folding the sides that has the printing on it that's for the the body or the head or the tails. You'll know if you're doing this right because when you fold in, you should get you should either get the QR code or the logo down here at the bottom. So you see when I do both, I wind up getting both down there at the bottom. So that way you know that you're doing it right. Open things up. Then I'm just going to go ahead and take this little part here and fold it back to the back. Roll that part forward. And you want to make sure you keep everything nice and even with these vertical creases, and also try to make sure that you don't fold over too much. The pattern design is really close to the edge, so you want to make sure you keep that as much over into the front as you can when you're folding up the edges of your box. So if you need to adjust a little bit, like here it kind of is coming up a little, I can just shift it over just a little bit so that I get more of that showing there on the front. And then we're just going to go ahead and fold things together here. And I'm just going to make this box closed off here for the sides. Now, for this particular one, I've got the rear view. That's going to be a panel piece. It's not going to fold. So if you want to eliminate some extra creases, what you can do is I can just go ahead and fold this part up, and then I'm just going to leave this sticking up. Take the little tab and fold it down, and you get the little area here that's going to be the completed back flap of the hinge. So just leave that the way it is. The other side we can go ahead and fold in like regular box, because that's going to be one of the front parts to our box, the front top to be exact. Put that to the side. Then I'll fold the other one too. And this is going to be the same steps again. You can just go ahead and fold in half and fold towards the center, all 4 points. And then we could go ahead and fold each of the sides in too. And when you do that, we want to make sure again that we're folding in so that we can get the QR code and the logo coming into the center. And open things up, and then I'll just do the same technique here to fold up the edges of my box. Again, you want to kind of try to keep everything even with those creases that you've got going already. And it's pretty hard to see, I know, with the white paper, but you're just following those basic creases there to help you along. Now, on this one, on the back side that's just white, that's going to be the tab that's going to slip inside the box. So I'm just going to leave that sticking out. And on the other side that has the owl print, this one can also be folded in like a box because that's the bottom of our owl. Now I could take these two pieces, and like I said, I'm going to take the piece that's got the white section, that's the tab, hold that in my right hand, hold the other piece that's got the panel piece on my left side. Now I'm just going to take this, kind of spreading this part open here, just let this lay down right inside. This tip should line up with the other three tips that are in the bottom of this box. So get that kind of lined in here. And then I'm just going to let this part fold in and still allow the top part to lay over it. So you can give yourself a little room here. This edge should be pretty even with the edge of everything. And sometimes what I like to do is just sort of bend back, kind of to give yourself some crease to give it a nice secure piece. And you should have a completed box. Now we turn it over because we want things to look this way, and that just makes a nice smooth finish for the back. So I can go ahead and put that to the side, and then you can choose one or both of the darker circled pieces of paper, square pieces of paper, to make a balloon. I'm going to just go ahead and use the one that has the regular face and a sad face. With that paper side, pattern side facing down, fold it in half diagonally both ways. And then with the pattern side facing up, fold in half both ways. This will give us some preliminary creases so that we can get this to a water bomb base in the easiest way. So open it up again with the color side facing up, find those diagonal creases, kind of fold it in half into a triangle, and then just push in, and you should be able to shimmy everything around until it becomes a triangle piece. Collapse down, make it nice and secure. Then you want to make sure we're not looking at the sides that have the eyes, so I'm just going to fold over my flaps until I have a QR code on one side and my logo on the other. And then we're going to cover those up by taking these little flaps and folding up to the top, and that will make so we don't have to see the QR code anymore. Flip it over, do the same thing on the other side too. So we're making kind of a diamond shape here by folding all four corners up to the top. You can see we've got all four flaps there. Then I'm going to take this side and fold it towards the center, creating a parallel edge to the center. So you can kind of just imagine a line that goes straight through here. Try to fold that as straight across as you can. And turn it around and do the same thing on the other side, so that we get something like this. Flip it over, do the same thing on the back too. And this way it's a little easier because you have the edges to look at in the back too. But you should get something like this. Now these little flaps that I just fold over, if you look here, they create nice little pockets if we put a little pressure on that edge. And then I'm just going to take this little bit of the tip that you see here and roll it down in here, pushing until I feel it kind of coming up against this edge, and then just smush it down until I get a nice clean crease. And that's going to secure everything so that when I blow this up into a balloon, it doesn't just fall apart. So I'm just going to repeat that step of opening up that pocket and sliding in that edge for all the four sides. So turn it around and do the back too. And that should give you a completed little balloon piece there. Then we're just going to go ahead and open things up so we kind of get like a cross. Flip it over to where you see this hole. We'll blow a little air in here. Poof out the edges a little bit. We do need this to be, you know, semi like square in shape kind of, because we want it to fit into our box. And then I'm just going to go ahead and choose normalize here, but we make sure that the hole is on the bottom of the box, and then this part slides over it. And then you can choose, you know, how much of the eye you want sticking out and create fun little kinds of variations of things there with that. But that gives you sort of a finished little owl. Now, if you wanted to put the little eyebrows on here, what you want to do is, I'm going to get a little board here so I don't get glue everywhere. And I'm going to take the pieces that I've got here. The easiest way I thought to do this would be, because these are the same, and I want you to be able to not have one backside being white. So what I'm going to do is just fold this in half, and you can use a little light to make sure it's right, so to make sure things line up so that these pieces go on top of each other. And then I'm just going to glue it and cut it out. So you can kind of create a double-sided eyebrow to put on your piece here. Take a little bit of glue, and this really just needs to be on the area that's printed. You don't have to have it all over the whole thing, but you do want to make sure you're not being stingy with the glue, because you want it to be nice and secured. So try to make sure you get all that covered. And then we can just go ahead and cut out these little guys to get our little cool eyebrows. So I have the two little eyebrows cut out here, and I find it's a little easier if you take your little balloon out for a second and then you can glue these on. And the idea for the design is that they kind of just line up right into the center with the edge of the color that you see for the tuft of hair there. So you really only need a little bit of glue just here on one end of it, because you're not really going to be, you know, putting it all connected. You can try to keep it flatter. It's sort of your preference of how, if you want it sticking out a little bit, or if you prefer having it kind of flat. But you want to try to be able to get kind of these both coming in towards the center. Should kind of give you some cool little eyebrows. And then you can put your little eyes back in here and give you a little finished little owl with eyebrows. So I hope you guys can find a lot of fun ways to make these. I think they just look super cute. If you print them all out, make them and put them on your desk. I'm a huge owl fan. So, you know, they're something I'm a little tend to think are cooler than other things, maybe. But I'll have, again, you can get these from my website. There's a link in the description. I can't think of what I'm saying. There's a link in the description. And then there's also the little I, the letter I in a circle. That's YouTube's card system. Click on that and there'll be a little kind of information box that'll pop out and tell you where my website is. And you can go there and find these downloadables waiting for you to enjoy, along with lots of other animal friends. So I'll have some more fun things to share with you guys in the days to come. Thanks again always so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!